Most people believe success is reserved for the gifted, the lucky, or the unusually intelligent. That belief is comfortable. It allows people to excuse inaction without admitting it. The truth is far less dramatic and far more demanding. The difference between those who build meaningful lives and those who remain stuck comes down to one thing: action without permission from emotion. There was a period in my life when effort depended entirely on how I felt. If I woke up confident, I acted. If I woke up tired or uncertain, I delayed. If doubt crept in, I distracted myself and told myself tomorrow would be better. From the outside, it looked like movement. From the inside, nothing was changing. Money came and went. Opportunities never multiplied. Progress always felt just one good mood away. The stories I told myself sounded reasonable. I told myself I needed more motivation. I told myself the timing was off. I told myself I would move once I felt ready. What I did not realize then was this: tomorrow kept arriving with the same emotions. And because my actions depended on those emotions, my results stayed the same. Feelings feel powerful, but they are unreliable. They change constantly. One day you feel focused and determined. The next day, exhausted and detached. If progress depends on mood, progress becomes inconsistent. And inconsistent effort never compounds. This pattern does not fail loudly. It fails quietly, month by month, opportunity by opportunity. People wake up years later wondering why nothing changed, unaware that their emotions quietly dictated every important decision they made. The turning point often begins with uncomfortable honesty. Everything changed for me after a conversation I did not expect. Someone older and more experienced looked at my situation without emotion. He asked how long I had been where I was. Then he asked a harder question: if this is where you are after all that time, what exactly have you been practicing? I began explaining circumstances, the economy, timing, bad luck. He listened patiently and then said something simple that removed every excuse. Results do not change until the person does. That moment revealed something painful. Time alone does not reward effort. Only intentional effort produces change. This is where many people misunderstand growth. They believe feelings should lead action. They believe motivation comes first. That belief keeps them waiting. Your feelings are not instructions. They are information. They can be noticed, acknowledged, and then ignored. The moment you stop asking what you feel like doing and start asking what needs to be done, everything begins to shift. Progress does not begin with motivation. It begins with commitment. For years, I believed motivation would arrive first. That one morning, I would wake up transformed, focused, driven, certain. That day never came. What I learned instead was this: motivation follows movement. Energy follows action. Confidence follows repetition. On days when I acted first, momentum appeared. On days when I waited, nothing changed. A plan changes everything because it removes negotiation. You are no longer debating with yourself each morning. You already decided. A real plan is specific, not vague, not hopeful. Specific enough that it tells you exactly what today requires. Life is not lived in months. It is lived one day at a time. If you do not know what success looks like today, you will never recognize it long term. Daily actions matter more than distant goals. At first, discipline feels heavy, unnatural, uncomfortable. That is not failure. That is training. Every time you do what you committed to doing, especially when you do not feel like it, something important happens. You build trust with yourself. You prove reliability to the one person whose belief matters most. Someone once struggled with consistency and asked why discipline felt so difficult. I asked a simple question: do you brush your teeth every day? Of course they did. I asked another question: do you wait until you feel like it? They laughed, because the answer was obvious. Some actions are automatic because they were never debated. They were decided once and repeated daily. Success requires the same treatment. When effort becomes negotiable, consistency disappears. Discipline is not personality. It is practice. Think of it like a muscle. Weak at first, challenging to use, stronger through repetition. People fail by demanding maximum strength on day one, instead of training gradually. Start small. Keep promises manageable but non-negotiable. Follow through even when uncomfortable. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes normal, and normal becomes identity. You stop becoming someone who tries. You become someone who does. Professionals understand this instinctively. They perform regardless of mood. Athletes train without inspiration. Writers write without certainty. Builders build when conditions are imperfect. Amateurs wait for the right feeling. Professionals work regardless of it. Time magnifies behavior. What feels small today becomes undeniable over years. Daily follow-through compounds into confidence, skill, and opportunity. Daily avoidance compounds into frustration and regret. Consider two paths over the next 5 years. One where action depends on mood. One where action follows a plan. Early on, the difference will be subtle, barely noticeable, but 5 years later, the gap will be undeniable. One road leads back to familiar frustration. The other leads somewhere unfamiliar, but earned. Everyone faces discomfort. The question is which discomfort you choose. Discipline is difficult in the moment. Regret is permanent. Life will test commitment. Progress will stall. Results will lag. That is where most people quit. Not because the plan failed, but because patience ran out. The people who build remarkable lives are not spared difficulty. They simply refuse to let discomfort rewrite their commitments. They adapt intelligently, not emotionally. They adjust strategy without abandoning direction. Over time, discipline produces something more valuable than achievement. It creates self-respect. Knowing you kept your word when quitting was easier. Knowing you showed up without applause. Knowing you did not betray yourself. That confidence cannot be borrowed. It must be built. Eventually, something shifts. You stop negotiating. You stop waiting. You stop asking permission from emotion. Action becomes automatic. Execution becomes normal. Progress becomes inevitable. Success is not a sudden breakthrough. It is the predictable outcome of consistent action over time. If you want change, begin with a plan. Write it down. Keep it simple. Commit to it daily. Do not wait for the right mood. Do not let emotion vote. Follow your plan. And let time do what it always does for those who stay consistent. If there is one lesson to take from everything you have just heard, it is this. Your life is not shaped by what you intend to do. It is shaped by what you do consistently. Talent did not decide the outcome. Luck did not decide the outcome. Feelings did not decide the outcome. Discipline did. The quiet choice to act when motivation was missing. The decision to keep going when emotions said stop. The commitment to a plan when comfort felt more attractive. That is the real separator. The theme running through this story is not perfection. It is responsibility. Responsibility for your actions, regardless of how you feel. Every time you follow through, you strengthen something inside you. Every time you quit, you teach yourself a lesson you may not intend to learn. Here is the truth many people never hear. You do not need a breakthrough. You need consistency. You do not need to feel inspired. You need to act. You do not need confidence to begin. Confidence is built by beginning. Where you are today is not a life sentence. It is a snapshot. And snapshots change when behavior changes. No matter how far behind you believe you are, momentum can be created faster than you think. One decision, one plan, one day at a time. If you feel tired, act anyway. If you feel discouraged, continue anyway. If you feel uncertain, move anyway. Your feelings do not disappear. They simply lose authority. Remember this. Discomfort is temporary. Regret is permanent. You have more control than you have been led to believe. And your future responds quickly when your actions become intentional. Take what you heard today and reflect on it. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Decide what one small commitment you will keep, regardless of your mood. And keep it. If this message resonated with you, if it challenged you or gave you clarity, then this channel exists for you. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell and stay connected, because what we build here is not motivation for a moment, but discipline for life. Your next chapter does not begin with inspiration. It begins with action, and it starts now.